Hi, math lovers. So let's talk about notes number 4, which is all about real numbers, operations, and properties. I don't think you need me to go through and explain how to add and subtract your values, but I want to remind you of a couple of things, the greatest hits maybe of going through this lesson. So the first thing you need to think about are all your key terms here. Remember all the words we used for sum. We would say the obviously sum or the total. We talk about difference for subtraction. We talk about product for multiplication. We talked about quotient for division and so forth. Okay. This lesson goes through and it shows you all of the symbols that you're going to use. I'm sure you're familiar with all of them: less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and not equal to. We talk about absolute value, which is absolute value is the distance from 0 on the number line. They go through here a couple of keywords. You can read that at your leisure. And then they remind you how to add and subtract. What I do want to remind you about is your order of operations. All right. So thinking about this first one, number A, you've got 4 to the third. That's easy peasy, right? But what happens when you throw a negative in front of it? So notice here in letter C, the negative sign that we have there, that's not raised to the second power. So it's just going to be a negative out in front and then 6 times 6, which is the negative 36. Okay. Similarly, as we go to our order of operations in part D here, there we go. Oops. Part D, I want to think about how I'm going to process this. Notice that I have negative 3 cubed. That's negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. That's going to be a negative. Hence, I wrote negative 27. Then I take the opposite, and then I add a negative 5 to it. So be careful as you go through with these. Similarly, when you do your order of operations, when we're replacing a value for a variable, notice here we are given values for X, for Y, and for Z, and we're going to go through and just plug them in for each of them. The first step, I'm going to caution you, the first step to doing these is to rewrite them. Kids always try to do them in their head and they're going to make mistakes. You don't want to make a mistake. So go ahead, rewrite this step where we're substituting the value of X, substitute the value of Y, and we're substituting the value of Z. And then from this point, you can work through it. You've got the negative. You're going to start with this negative sign here and it's squared. So you know you're going to get a positive 4 right there. And then you're going to go through and multiply the negative 4 times 4. That gives me the negative 16. Remember your order of operations. We do addition and subtraction. We hold those off. We let our exponents go first. We work through parentheses. Remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division go together, and then addition and subtraction. So you're not necessarily going the order that you want to go in. You have to follow the rules of order of operations. Great news is we have super smart technology. Our calculators are really bright, and they're going to help us out with that. Okay, just be careful that you input the data correctly. There's nothing worse than thinking you have the right answer, and then you make a mistake because it's been a user error. Have fun with your problem set.